6:40 and time to go through the papers with the political editor of the Sunday Mirror, Nigel Nelson, and broadcaster Miss Liz Kershaw. Good morning to you both. Liz, summer of chaos in the Sun.
Yeah, two articles which tie together really. The rail strikes are very likely to go ahead now, and the rail union has to give 2 weeks notice, so it's thought they will start in mid-June and they will go on for a long time. I was booking a ticket on Eurostar yesterday. I thought, yeah, I'm going to go abroad after 2 years and something, and I thought, I'm not going to fly, we'll come on to that in a minute, I'll go on Eurostar. And then I thought, hang on, I have to get to St Pancras International for half 8 in the morning. Will there be trains at that time from Milton Keynes? You have to bear it all in mind. So yeah, that will lead to problems for leisure travellers, business travellers, and also supply chains. The other thing, of course, is airports. People are now being asked by British Airways, I think particularly, to drop the bags off at the airport the day before.
What?
Meanwhile...
Most of us can't do that.
No way. Meanwhile, people... Not if you live 90 miles from the airport.
Also, surely that's more admin for them rather than less.
And people are also stranded at the other end. So they've got families in Mallorca who've been stranded without their luggage because their luggage has left, but their flight's been cancelled.
Yeah.
People turning up waiting 8 hours at airports and then getting a text saying, sorry, no flight. And then finally, the ports, Dover to Calais and Calais to Dover. So I've got a friend who we used to commute more or less from Nice to Heathrow, 2 hours, and decided this week that he just couldn't face Terminal 5 British Airways at Heathrow again, so he drove 11 hours from Cannes to Calais, just because the flight situation is so bad. Anyway, God knows how people are getting on. There's pictures of the queues. So yesterday, at the port of Dover, traffic was backed up on the A20 because officials, French, because you go through French passport control on the England side, opened just 2 border control booths. Ferry bosses and port bosses said it was out of their control. And I don't know what it's like on the tunnel, but you basically, if you're trying to get to the tunnel, Channel Tunnel, at junction 12 of the M20, north of Folkestone and Dover, by Folkestone, north of Dover, then you presumably get caught up in the backlog of traffic. It's just makes you want to go nowhere, really.
Yeah,
I think the only time to travel, the only time to travel is when we do. It's a dream at 4:10 in the morning.
Oh, that's the way to do it. I know, it's not. I feel like you're asleep half the time. That's the trouble. Nigel, the Express, looking at the Rwanda refugees.
Yes, that's right. So the government is promising they're going to get this off the ground at last. That they've, according to the Express, they've 100 people have received their paperwork, which would mean they could be sent to Rwanda next month. The problem with this is there's still legal challenges going on. So it seems to me that it's probably a bit optimistic to expect them to go. And whether it'll make any difference to cross-channel migrants using small boats to get here, I rather doubt. It hasn't done so far. This really is a drop in the ocean, just 100 people when it comes to 9,000 have crossed so far this year. And the government would be much better looking at other ways to try and discourage people crossing the channel.
What other ways?
Well, I think that the best one, first of all, you speed up the asylum system. At the moment, it's incredibly slow to actually get an asylum claim through. The other way is asylum claimants have to make the claim in this country, which obviously encourages them to come here first. So if they're able to make the claim in a safe country, say at an embassy or even a place specially set up for that sort of thing, you would have a legal route to come here, and it would mean that you would stop them trying to get to the channel. Not all of them, I appreciate, but you'd stop an awful lot of them trying to get to the channel to then make the dangerous crossing on a dinghy.
No, it's worth looking at, isn't it? These are those explore plenty of options with this one. Let's change the tune slightly and perk things up a little bit. you've done your Top of the Pops over the years, Liz Kershaw. How would it have felt if you said, coming in at number 1 this week, the national anthem?
Oh, no, as the DJs do it, like my mate Bruno doing the charts. And there we go, there, that all-important number 1 position in the charts, the Pop-a-Moose, Top-a-Moose. It's God Save the Queen from Alfie Boo. And no. The thing is, this is Platinum Jubilee, so 1977 was the Queen's Silver Jubilee.
Yeah.
So many years ago now. And there were very different times, I think, for youth. There was a rebelliousness about young people, and now I think they're being ground down by a lot of things. And where's their anger and where's their creativity? And so there was a book called Like Punk Never Happened. So we've now got Ed Sheeran and, crooning away. And 1977, it was the Sex Pistols, Buzzcocks, the Clash, the Stranglers, and real, anarchy in the UK being one of the Sex Pistols hits. But anyway, the Sex Pistols single, God Save the Queen, was banned by the BBC. And it has been not reverential enough. And it actually it sold most copies. It should have been number 1 the week of the Queen's Silver Jubilee. And somehow, BBC popped up on the BBC, and the song in that all-important number 1 position was in fact Rod Stewart singing I Don't Want to Talk About It, that it's a lovely song, How You Made Me Cry. And the Sex Pistols only got to number 2, but everybody now knows it was a fix. So anyway, the big debate is now what should be number 1 for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And the Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen, has been re-released. It doesn't matter if you don't get BBC or any other radio airplay now because people stream it and everything. Anyway, Alfie Bowes waded in and said it shouldn't be the Sex Pistols, and he's launched a battle for the all-important number 1 slot in the charts, and he's teamed up with soprano Sarah Brightman to release a version of God Save the Queen featuring the NHS Voices of Care Choir and the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra.
If it gets jazzed up a bit, it might actually work. It's just that God Save the Queen is such a slow, kind of dirgy type song.
It's terrible. I think no disrespect
at this stage of the game, but
no disrespect for the sentiments of the song, but I really hope that rather than one day have God Save the King, we have a more uplifting national anthem. I think I Vow to Thee My Country should be our national anthem.
It's a lovely song.
It's a lovely song.
Really, it's false, doesn't it? The planets.
Yeah, it really. Classical then.
I know.
It's so moving though, and it's like having pride in your country and swearing your allegiance to the country rather than one figurehead.
Oh, I don't know about that though.
Don't you?
No.
What would you have as national anthem then?
Well, I think it depends how you play it, because I think the national anthem we play it's just before 6 o'clock.
Oh, no, it's very rousing. Yeah,
it's that sort of thing. We just need to make it a bit. It's just a bit dull.
So ABBA have launched their big show.
Yeah.
Have you heard any of the reviews of it? It sounds people who went to go and see it genuinely forgot about 3 songs in that what they were watching wasn't real people. Quite amazing, I know.
There you go.
I reckon if someone's got a better idea for what could be the new national anthem, you should let us know.
Yeah.
At GBNEWS at gbnews.uk. Should we just quickly look at this Kurt Zuma, the cat story? In the Mirror, there's been a proposed a different idea of maybe rehabilitation for the footballer.
That's right, yes. Well, he sort of kicked and slapped his cat, which he's been found guilty of. And what Chris Packham is saying, the presenter, is that he's got so much money that a fine won't make any difference. Why doesn't he go and work in an RSPCA animal centre? It does sound a bit like sort of King Herod being made into a childminder, but I can see that the idea actually probably works quite well. Get him to learn about animals. I mean, what he did, there's no excuse for that. I argue with my cat all the time, but the last thing I do is think about touching the cat. He touches me, he beats me up, but not the other way around. But I think the idea of actually learning about animals, going into an RSPCA centre, it would be an educational experience, probably very good for him.
It should do it like community service.
That's what it comes down to, exactly, yeah. So the idea is 30 days, so it's a sort of 30-day community service, yeah.
No, I think that'd be a very good idea, but then I like what Chris Packham has to say on these matters, because he knows his onions. We're out of time. It's been good to see you both. Nigel Nelson and Liz Kershaw. It is always a joy. Thank you very much.